Hello, and welcome to Weed and Grub.
I don't know who sent you that TikTok, but I absolutely, while standing outside of Eric Wilson, shout out to our friend Eric Wilson, formerly Tender Friends podcast, went to his place for Royal Rumble. It was so much fun. Shout out to my new friend Rose too. But as soon as I got outside his place, I hit him with a here by text. And that TikTok you showed me has never been more accurate about my life.
So you arrived at Eric's house, and to let him know that you were outside, you texted him here with a picture of yourself outside?
No, just the word here, not even a period. Just like hit it with the thumb, hit send.
I don't know who sent me that TikTok either, and it is accurate of you to say I don't know who sent you that TikTok, because you know I'm not on TikTok. I don't find these things myself. I find TikToks two ways. Someone texts it to me, or I read about it on the Huffington Post.
Yeah, you read about TikToks. You're deep in the reading about TikToks
I
game.
read about TikToks all the time on like Jezebel and the Huffington Post. This one, I don't know where it came from, but it's so great because it goes through boomers, Gen Xers, millennials, and Gen Zs and how they show up at your house. And you were absolutely a millennial. You fucking nailed it.
Nailed it.
Yeah. You were kind of like, I think the whole thing was like, millennials are hoping that they don't have to show up at your house. But if they do, they're going to text you that they're there. And that's your cue to come and let them in.
Dude, as soon as I found out that I could stream Royal Rumble myself on Peacock,
yeah,
and I looked and I could get Peacock for $9.99 with no ads, I was like, why am I going anywhere? I can order my own chicken tenders to my place. I can watch it in my place. I can smoke all my weed and sit alone in my place.
It's so.
What am I talking about?
I totally fit the definition of the Gen Z, sort of how they come to your house, because it was like they'll make plans well in advance. They'll text you a couple of days to make sure that they're still on, and then when they arrive, they'll also hit you with a text to let you know that they're outside, which is absolutely. I definitely always confirm plans days in advance, and when people flake on me, I'm still confused. And LA is such a flaky town.
Yes,
and people are constantly hoping, but I have definitely slipped into the I hope that gets canceled mindset. Because it's nice to be able to stay home and have a night by yourself when you were like stressing about fucking getting anywhere.
Yes, but disagree, because I had a great time at Eric's. I just had to leave my house to have a nice time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm okay. I'm kind of crabby and I'm a little sleepy. So I don't know how much I'm going to smoke, because I want to bring levity and life to this one. Well, and I'm worried that if I smoke, I'm going to
double down on the crab.
Screaming. Yeah, I might be a fucking bucket.
I think it'll help. I think you should hit that, and it's going to be much better time for you. Absolutely.
All right, Miss Peer Pressure. Well, what up, Mary Jade?
How's it going, Mike?
Welcome to Weed and Grub, everyone. This is a podcast about comedy,
cannabis,
culture,
cooking,
calling shit out,
and cool shit that we fuck with from friends who are doing cool shit.
Yeah, this is a shout out up.
Yeah.
It is a shout out up.
Yeah, you got to hit that in order to be able
I'm
to
already
shut
smiling. Thanks,
out.
Mary Jade.
There you go.
Hold on. Let me just talk about weed for a second. It rules.
This particularly is very nice. It's just like a super, chill sativa. I mean, it's, I don't know about the whole sativa, fucking indica, whatever, but this one works for me. It's a pre-roll. I've been enjoying lately from, a company that I've already shouted them out a couple of times here, so I don't need to say it, but
I'm already happier.
it's delicious. There you go.
Yeah. Thank you. I needed that. I really needed that.
Did you say you woke up crabby?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm thinking about getting a gravity blanket. Honestly,
yeah.
I'm thinking about leveling up my life in the bedroom.
Okay.
And yes, I also mean tying fucking.
Great. Love it.
But like right now, I just have like my 4 pillows of various shapes and sizes, my bed, and like a comforter and a sheet. And a lot of times, because I love to binge eat popcorn late at night until my stomach hurts while watching a bunch of movies like City Hall on HBO Max, starring Robert De Niro and John Cusack. And like through all of that, what I really need to be able to sleep soundly, I think, is like a whale laying on top of me.
I mean, listen, Archie and I are available to just come over and put our weight on you, but we can sit on your head. Archie will get your torso. I'll hold down the legs. We're available. We can do this for you.
Please. Or
you can get a gravity blanket, which I totally recommend. My sister gave me a gravity blanket a couple of years ago, and I did just this morning wake up early and move from my bed out onto my couch, because in my living room I have a skylight and the early morning light is really beautiful. So sometimes it's nice to just like transfer out there for the last sort of hour of like kind of waking up sleep. And I put my gravity blanket on, and it just, the whole thing was very, very copacetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I really am looking, and I want like a heavy one. Like, do you know what weight yours is?
Mine is 25 pounds, which is surprisingly heavy. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when it's spread out over all of you, mine feels, it doesn't feel like a whale, but it feels like a big, deep hug. Also, I'm now questioning my use of the word copacetic back there. So if that wasn't the right way to use it, I'm sorry, but my brain isn't quite firing right.
Look, I think
for
we
those.
should cancel you.
But no, listen, it's 25 pounds and it's great. And it's very copacetic.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. The other reason that I'm crabby, like I enjoy that TikTok a lot.
Yeah.
But like people's like, I need the world to speak to me the way that I speak to the world. And when people don't talk to me the way I want to be talked to, I get very bent out of shape. Like you were telling me about how your mom was driving you crazy the other day. Oh my God,
it's so crazy. But then that's like a totally... So my mom, I had told my mother that I had applied for a cannabis media fellowship that I applied for. And I was really proud of it. And I wrote like an application letter that I felt really good about. You've read it for me. And
it's a doozy of a letter, man. You've done some deep, cool shit in your life.
Thanks, man. And I'm really excited to just, like keep learning and expanding my cannabis knowledge. And so I applied for this very cool opportunity. I hope I get it. Fingers crossed. Hope this doesn't jinx me getting it. But anyway, applied for it, let my mom know about it. And her response to me, I was like, this is why I don't tell you about anything I do ever. Because she just, instead of replying to me about it, she just CC'd a friend who lives in Vermont for some reason.
Wait,
who was like...
She didn't answer you.
No, didn't answer me. And then she CC'd a friend who lives in Vermont, a friend of the family who's a little older than I am. It's like the son of one of my parents' friends who happens to live in Vermont, which is where this media fellowship would be through a university out there. And she was like, and she also calls me Jane. She just calls me Jane. She's never used my whole name.
Ew.
And so she just CC'd and she was like, Daniel, Jane is doing a course on pot. Maybe she can look you up while she's in Vermont. And I was like, Mom, there are like ways to talk about things. And for me, she has never really managed to talk about me or my life in a way that makes me feel good. And so I don't tell her a lot. And this is just an obviously like lifelong issue that I talk about a lot in therapy. But truly, like when she was just like, it sounded so dismissive to me, the way she was just like, Jane is doing a course on pot. And I was like, well, first off, I haven't been accepted. And secondly, let's call it cannabis. And third, it's Mary Jane. And fourth, fuck you. But I was so riled up by it. And I sort of attached my my ire to her using the word pot. That was the thing I fixated on. Because, Jane, obviously, she's always said that. And, parents get shit wrong all the time. But I was like, why am I so mad about her use of the word pot? It feels so dismissive somehow. And I was like, that's just actually me being mad at my mom, because I have lots of other friends who say pot all the time.
I don't know about that. I
do. One of my best friends calls weed pot. Yeah. One of my best friends that I see all the time is always like, do you have any pot on you? And I'm like, that doesn't bother me at all. I find it charming. I find it
But that's
whimsical.
from a consumer. That's not from somebody who is from an age of the devil's lettuce. And so pot is a dismissive term in that way.
I mean, yeah. And, frankly, she's like, that is very par for the course with her. Like she's not great at making me feel seen or heard.
Yeah.
And that's something that, that's part of my whole journey that I want to get into talking about later on here.
I feel that. Yeah, we will get to that as a little foreshadowing to a recent trip you took.
Ketamine.
Ketamine. I love your voice of your mom, your head voice of reading your mom. I think that is another universal truth that we all have, is the way that we read certain people's emails, texts in our head.
Yes, you attach a tone to it, right? That's
every
why
time.
Email and text are so tricky, because they're so subjective. And I think that, but yeah, like you just saying, like, I want the world to talk to me the way I want to be talked to. It's like, well, that's impossible and never going to happen. So what are we able to do in that moment? We're able to adjust our expectations of how the world talks to us. We're able to receive it in a different way. Well, like what can you and I do when we're irritated by these things?
I like to approach things with a positive bent, even if it's negative.
Okay.
And then because then maybe it'll be heard better as well.
Sure.
Like, when we were over the holidays, you were nice enough to spend some time with me to fill some time with my family. And
I had a great time.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, lovely
Okay, cool.
time. It was awesome.
And we went shopping with Steve, and you had that blanket for my brother and his husband.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, what do you think of this blanket? I was like, that blanket looks great. And my dad goes, they already have blankets. And I'm like, it's not about the blanket, dog. It's about the thought behind the thing they may like.
But you know what? I bought the blanket anyway.
And they love it. And I know Patrick is wrapped up in it right now listening to this.
Oh, man.
So it's like, it's the approach. It's the thought. It's the nuance of how I engage with people is how I want to be engaged with. And when they come at me with negativity, or they come at me with like a, yeah, but, or how are you? And they're like, ugh. Like, I don't need that in my fucking life. I've got my Wonder Woman cuffs up so I can block it with my bracelets.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally. But I would also say that like when I'm just going to talk about me. I don't want to say when you feel crabby, so I'm just going to make this all about me. When I feel crabby, I assign intentions to people that don't exist, and I receive things in a way that are not meant. So I try my best when I'm receiving something from someone that I feel like, don't buy that thing, they already have one or whatever. And I'm like, oh, that, I feel like that's, not coming from a happy place.
Mm-hmm.
That's on me.
Yeah. I feel that.
You know
why I know I'm crabby? Because I'm hungry. So like I'm gonna eat while you
gotta fix everything. You gotta what the hell? Did I just bring you here to like get you high and give you snacks? Is that the purpose of this podcast now? Is keep Mike alive? You're like, I'm crabby and I don't want to smoke and I'm hungry.
Yeah, now I'm gonna like eat my feelings.
Well, do you want to promote all the shows you're doing right now? I'm gonna keep you alive so you can fly to Hawaii and fucking headline in Hawaii this Friday the 3rd, I think in Honolulu.
This episode is called Mary Jane Carries the Show on Her Back. While Mike lays under a gravity blanket.
By therapeutic psychedelics.
Let's get into it.
And then we'll also check us out, please, on February 5th, this Sunday. We've got a live show. We're so excited. I know we've got some great friends who are coming in the audience. Thank you all who have bought tickets already. Check out the link in our show notes and all over our Instagram. It's at 4:00 at the Gateway Theater in San Francisco. We got 90 minutes of snacks, giveaways, trivia, fun, fucking crazy cool guests, Katrina Davis, Jordan Morris, and Vanessa Gonzalez. It's going to be a great fucking time. Please don't miss it. I'm so excited.
We also have a surprise guest.
Oh, we do? Oh, we do. That's right. Don't give it away.
Won't give it away.
Big fat surprise.
Very excited about it.
Yeah, I'm really excited too.
Yeah. On the 5th, come through. So
yeah.
It's a Sunday.
4 p.m.
We're going to play a bunch of games with the audience. I'm excited.
I know.
I'm really excited.
So you want me to talk about why I'm feeling a little like positivity?
I'm so stoked that you're doing this. I feel like, we're both talking about things that we also talk about in therapy on this podcast
all
right
the
now.
Time. So much therapy.
But do you mind if I kind of give a peek behind the veil a bit on your last session that you shared with me?
Well, my last therapy session?
Yeah, and what they said to you as far as their wish.
You want to tell people what my therapist said to me?
Yeah, I was on the Zoom.
I could just say it.
Okay.
Or do you want to say it?
I'm just really excited for you.
Thank you.
So it's hard for me to like not share it because it's like me handing you a gift and then telling you what it is before you open it because I'm stoked. Yeah, that's what it is.
So yeah, no, I mean I'm stoked to talk about it. You and I have talked about this for so long, and I, have all of these diagnoses that I have found help with psychedelics through various ways, but I've never really like sat down and done just like purely therapeutic psychedelics in like a prescribed way. And a few months ago, I was lucky enough to receive this ketamine protocol, but I hadn't done it. I hadn't set aside the time to do it. And I don't know why. But I had like you were saying, I had a hard therapy session last week, and at the end of it was totally kind of a mess. And my therapist just looked at me and was like, my dream for you is to do that ketamine. And so I had a session yesterday. I asked you to be my trusted ally.
Yep, I signed a contract and everything.
Yo.
Yeah, it was serious. I took it damn serious too.
You sure did. You showed up at my place so prepared. And I had prepared my whole space and done all of the, the intentional everything, the set and the setting and journaling. And I fasted beforehand and all that stuff. And I don't actually want to talk too much about the experience itself. I want to sort of hold it close because it was a very obviously personal and intense experience that I'm still processing, honestly. So I don't actually want to talk about that yet. I will maybe after I finish some more sessions.
Can I talk about protocol? Because I do think that I've never heard a podcast that talks about ketamine therapy protocol before and like what it actually looks like. So that I would love to talk about on here because ideally, maybe somebody listening to this says, oh, maybe that is also going to help me.
Sure.
The way it seems like one session out of 4 so far has really helped you,
I
at
don't
least
know.
like in the moment?
Yeah, I don't even want to use that language.
Okay,
I
but
found it very informative, enlightening, interesting, intense, a bunch of things. I don't want to say it helped me because I think that language is what's the word? I can't even think of the word, but it
inaccurate.
yeah, not only inaccurate, but it's sort of like it makes it just one thing that is like, I'm not sure if there are only positive side effects. Like I'll see in a couple of days, like maybe I'll
Yeah.
have something bubble up and be like, oh, that's a weird thing that I received from that session that isn't helpful.
Yep.
You know, I just
Yes.
want to, yeah.
Okay, so let's
Pigeonhole.
pigeonhole it.
Fuck.
Pigeonhole it.
I feel like Natasha Lyonne in her new show Poker Face, where every episode there's one word that she can't fucking remember or figure out. And great show, check it out. Natasha Lyonne is a sexy fucking bitch, and that show is really fantastic. Ryan Johnson's a fantastic show creator, and but anyway, I feel like that today.
Mhm.
But I've done it twice now with Copacetic and Pigeonhole. So
And just like Natasha, you land it finally, and you're like,
Pigeonhole. There we go. Anyway, I don't want to pigeonhole it by saying it helped me.
great. Protocol wise, this is something that you took. Like, can I just like talk about the protocol that I
Yeah.
saw?
I'm happy to talk about everything surrounding my actual
Okay.
ketamine
Cool.
journey.
Because it came to you and it was 4 lozenges,
Mhm.
each one 150 milligrams of ketamine.
Correct.
And then with that, 4 ginger pills to help with nausea. And you fast before this so that it can, kapow you as much as it is possible to kapow. And you take the ginger pill for nausea. And then the rest of it, my job was to check on you every 15 minutes because it's not my job to be there. It's not my job to ask questions. It's not my job to say anything at all. My job is to check on you every 15 minutes, just kind of peek my head into a room to make
Mhm.
sure you're breathing and everything is okay. If you need to be held, there's a safe word. And not held like hugged, but like if you just need some human contact while you're going through that trip, there's a safe word. What was your safe word?
Yesterday it was, I don't want to say it because I might want to use it again.
Okay, bet.
Yeah.
Cool. It's a good safe word. And
It's food.
It is a food.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
but I might
safest
want
thing in the world.
I might want to use it again, and I don't want to get stuck in my
Okay.
head that yeah.
Cool. And then the rest of it is like your procedure. So that's my job as the ally, was to check in
Right.
on you every 15 minutes. Be prepared, have water. I really did set a timer for every 15 minutes.
I could
And,
sense you there the whole time, which
cool.
was really fucking cool. And when
Oh,
you say
good.
it wasn't your job to be there, it wasn't your job to be in the room with me, but you were
Right.
there, like you came over to my house and like hung out with my animals. So
Yeah.
I was totally free to just do my thing. Yeah.
And then you had headphones on,
Yep.
and there's a whole journey that the
Yes.
headphones take you through.
There was an hour-long meditation that came along, and there were several of them that you can choose from. And I just decided to start with the first one suggested, which was called Presence. And it's a 10-minute meditation that you start with, where you sort of dissolve the lozenge in your mouth, and then the meditation thing invites you to lie down. And then there's sort of a 50-minute soundscape of all sorts of like binaural beats and sounds. And then at the end of it, they sort of invite you back. And it was timed out incredibly well. I mean, they've done a really nice job. I don't want to give the name of the company because I'm not promoting a company on here. It's a very cool experience. And if I feel like sharing who it was, I certainly will down the road. But it was neat. And I was really, I mean, I have done a lot of work with psychedelics to, for grief, for trauma, all that kind of stuff. I've certainly done it intentionally as well. I'm not saying that I've never done psychedelics intentionally, but this was prescribed to me through telehealth. And I took my blood pressure with a cuff they sent to me in the mail before I lay down and listened to a program. Like it was very, very, very different for me because usually I would go to the beach or go out to the woods and sort of, light a candle and perform some rituals for myself for set and setting before doing them. Very much more organic and very much my own sort of like intuition and instinct for what I need. This was a prescribed hour, and they can't prescribe what happens in your head, obviously.
Right.
But it was pretty fucking interesting. And I'm really glad I fasted as long as I did beforehand. All I did, I got up and I had cottage cheese in the morning and a cup of coffee. And then the session, you and I had agreed that you would come over at 3:30 and I would start at 4.
Yes.
So by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I was, doing this whole thing. And when I woke up at 5:30, I was so hungry, and I'd been laughing during the session because my stomach was growling. So while I was like in this sort of like deep, deep, deep psychedelic trip, I could also hear this like, when I came out of it, you stuck your head in, and I was journaling because I'd sat up at that point, and you just looked at me, and I was like, I'm just journaling, but I'm so fucking hungry.
So funny.
And so,
Well, I
that
knew
was
you
a
were
great
hungry
end.
before it because you were like, I'm starving. And I go, you can't have your dinner until you finish your
You
ketamine.
gotta finish your ketamine. Take your ketamine, woman.
Yeah.
And then, oh my God. And then we ordered some Summer Buffalo. Producer Mark, I know you love that place. Shout out. We got some Beyond Meat because I really didn't want any meat after it, which is really interesting. I've like, psychedelics so often make me just want to eat plants.
Mm-hmm.
So we got some Beyond Meat delicious curried noodles. And when we were walking back from there, I was like, yeah, all I'd had was coffee, cottage cheese, and ketamine all day.
It's a perfect Sunday.
I really needed to have some curry noodles to wrap that up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. I was really, and thank you so much. I mean, I've obviously thanked you a million times in person, but thank you on here because I think that, for anyone who is interested in doing this, one of the crucial aspects for me in having what I think, I would term an enjoyable experience overall, even though it was incredibly intense and there were tricky parts for it for sure, but I am feeling good about it, was feeling that my trusted ally was there, that I was safe,
Yeah.
that's just a huge part of it. And it was part of the meditation as you were sort of dropping into it. They just say, you are safe. And it was such an important thing to hold in my head for the whole time as I navigated some stuff that bubbled up that was tricky.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
I'm
say so happy for you.
Don't ever, like, if you are choosing to do this, don't choose someone that you would have any doubts about being there for you when you're at your most vulnerable. So
yeah,
you were that for me. Thank you.
So this is the first time that set and setting, which I think is thrown around so much, whether it's in psychedelics or cannabis or seeing Zed at Life is Beautiful. You know what I mean? Like whatever it is, like it's thrown around in a way that
specifically
like,
for,
but this is the first description I've heard where set and setting is like not only important and amplifying, but it's doing it through something like telehealth and like medicine and things like that, where normally when I think of set and setting, I think about how much Molly I'm putting up my butthole while I dance my face off and then go to Vegas and then come back and I'm a sweaty, greasy, gray mess of Tito's, MDMA, you know what I mean?
That's not set and setting at all.
And that's not set and setting. That's like a beautiful like cleansing that I love to do and I need to do.
Yeah.
It's important to my life to scrub the fucking cassette.
You can just put it in your mouth.
It kicks in faster.
You could just put it in your mouth.
The problem is when you get the powder kind.
Just put it in your mouth, man.
Because then you're like, oh, where's this powder going?
Don't put Molly up your butt.
Set and setting.
Just eat it. But I know what you mean. Yeah.
I think it's thrown around as like a party idea.
Yeah. No, it's not. I think at all. Like but this is the thing. It has been co-opted.
It is to me because I'm not deep in the culture like you are, Mary Jane. Like my culture is a party culture a bit more. And so when I think of set and setting, I know you're a partier. But you also write for Vox and Rolling Stone about these things. That is not my purview when I think of set and setting.
Right. And I'm just saying that set and setting actually does come from that very intentional kind of stuff from like indigenous traditions and spiritual traditions and, to some degree, like just the sort of countercultural traditions of people who would like, trip to turn on, and all of the sort of like wonderful American psychonauts, that we know about, like Timothy Leary and Ram Dass, all that, like set and setting is very important and comes from that, all of those schools of thought. But like you're saying, it also, I think, has been co-opted to some degree. Although I don't hear party culture people being like, make sure the set and setting is right so you can put Molly up your butt and go dancing.
I think a more accurate way for me to say it is when I think of set and setting, I think of party culture.
Okay.
Because I'm not steeped in the psychedelic community in a therapeutic way.
Okay. So it was interesting for you to just see a different sort of aspect of it.
Exactly. Like to me, this was the most pure, easy to understand way of thinking of set and setting. Because I've always heard it and I've always like tried to say it without really like thinking of anything except seeing Zed at Life is Beautiful. And so, like that's, and so, this was like a real testament to what that means.
Totally. Yeah, I get it. I mean, part of it for me, this was a first, I think for me, because I'm a kind of a disorganized, messy person, is that I cleaned the fuck out of my whole house. My bathroom was immaculate. I cleaned under my bed. My bed was made up fresh with a beautiful new, like, pretty duvet cover. I lit the gorgeous candle that you'd given me for Christmas. I had like watered all my plants. Like I did all of those things. And that was so nice. It's just so nice. And of course, I've heard people talk about that a million times, but I'm just naturally a person who always has like stuff on every surface, unfolded clothes. This is just how we live. Archie and Boba were always like, stuff everywhere. There's a million dog toys on the floor, probably some cat poop in the corner. It's like an exuberant mess. My life is an exuberant, joyous mess most of the time. Not always joyous, always messy. So that was a big part of it for me as well. And honestly, like that's a huge thing that I want in my life, is to actually live intentionally and be more organized. And I was talking with our friend Natalie the other night about how every single night she does a reset to neutral every night, no matter what's going on. And that's something that she learned. She's a ballet dancer, and she also studied massage, and she learned it in both of those worlds, where when you leave the room or the rehearsal studio or wherever, you have to do a reset to neutral so the space is ready for the next person.
Interesting.
And she does it for herself in her own house every night. And I was like, okay, so I've really started to sort of try and, emulate that and just do all of the dishes before I go to bed. Never leave a dish in a sink. I mean, I've been doing this for like 5 days, but it's nice,
5 days. I think it's like 2 weeks to break or start a habit, something like
Yep.
that. So 5 days means you're almost near halfway.
I'm
which is
almost
great.
perfect.
Yeah.
I took ketamine and I did the dishes, and damn if I'm not an evolved human being. Everybody should give me all of their money.
Yes.
Just to tell them what to do. I could be a life coach.
You are a life coach now. Hey, when we cut this clip, guys, can you put a golden aura around Mary Jane in this moment, please?
Do you see the glow?
Thank you.
Jesus. I mean, that's the worst. Like the zeal of the newly converted, right? The person who like does something 1 or 2 times and then they're like, I found the way.
I think that's great. I have come around to loving that, because when I left Amsterdam, loved it so much I left Paris early to go back to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And every time now that I have a moment to like squeak in things about Amsterdam, like I'm looking up when their comedy festival is, like I love the excitement of the newly converted. That means you're like having a wonderful experience that you want to share with everybody. And I think that's a very good, positive thing.
It absolutely is. I think it's lovely when someone is like into something that they just found out about. It's just annoying when like someone just found out about a band that you've known about forever and they're like, oh my God, have you heard Radiohead? And you're like,
well,
so
yeah, well,
I don't want to be that
on that
person.
note, check out Fred again. I'm so late to the party.
Oh my God, we have to talk about this.
Please watch Fred Again's Boiler in London.
No.
Jungle. I'm listening to Jungle on repeat by Fred Again, and goddamn if that's not my fucking song of the year so far.
Couldn't believe that you made me watch that for a solid 20 minutes before. Granted, I needed a break before I could watch The Last of Us with you. It
was a hell of an episode.
It was a hell of a fucking episode.
Watching that to talk about on here, I was like, I don't know if I want to talk about this episode on here.
Maybe we don't even have to. But
well, if you want to see an amazing tour de force by Nick Offerman, please do.
And his acting partner, Murray Bartlett.
Mm-hmm. What an amazing episode of Last of Us. Also, don't want to bring that energy to the pod, really.
Sure. It's absolutely fucking beautiful, and I'm so excited for where that show is going, and one hell of an hour of television that was absolutely fucking heartbreaking and beautiful. And congratulations to everyone who made it, and whoa. So yeah, leading up to it, was it afterwards? I can't even remember.
It was afterwards to reset after The Last of Us episode 3 season 1.
Right.
I was like, I know what this party needs.
We need to watch this boiler room thing with this guy DJing, and there was just a bunch of people jumping up and down for 20 minutes looking very sweaty, and you were like, it's so great. And I was like, I'm sure the music is fine. And then you were like, but watch this. And then this guy like unplugs everything and shuts the fucking vibe down.
Yep.
And I was like, why did we just watch this? Why did I just watch 20 minutes of sweaty people jumping up and down and then someone killing the vibe? This is like the antithesis of what I want to watch right now. I do not want to watch someone killing a vibe.
Because I like watching people fail and be horrified and then being like, I will never be that person.
The mortification.
The mortification of like bumping into at the peak of the drop of a Fred Again set, and this guy who is just like free and flowing.
He looks like a sweaty, drunken, talk about Molly up your butt.
Yeah, his name was Rodney. He kept throwing up the middle finger. Interestingly, after I watched an interview between Fred Again and I think his name is Zed, and they talk about that moment, and Fred Again has this like beautiful spin on it where he's like, if somebody is in bliss and present in the moment and that is an accident that happens, that means that they are swept up in something wonderful, and I will never condescend them for an accident like that when everybody is there to have a great time.
I wonder if he believes that, because I feel like underneath he's like, get the fuck away from my equipment, you bunch of fucking losers.
We should ask Natasha Leone.
I just need some elbow room. Where is security? Why have I been bumped by this man 5 fucking times? But of course he wants to put out the like all good vibes. You know, See, this is what the hippie culture did for a really long time. Hippies, everyone thought they were like the happiest, sweetest, kindest people. They are the angriest, most motherfuckers.
Is that right?
Half of them are like fucking bioterrorists. They're like,
they
would
really?
blow up dams and absolutely.
Like some real Fight Club shit, huh?
Yes, hippies are fucking mean outlaws in a lot of ways. And I'm not disrespecting or denigrating them. Like I respect that whole culture so much. But like that whole peace and love also cloaked a lot of rage.
A lot of rage.
That's what the weed is for.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it gets you, feeling a little looser, a little more happy.
Well, this is actually a good tie into our news story this week.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to, can I do a little Grublik Gazette?
Let's do the Grublik Gazette.
Okay.
Brought to you by Archie. This week, Archie is here on the couch with me, conked out like a little rock star pirate.
And we can also shout out Who Has It?
Oh, let's shout out Who Has It. Awesome. Yes, I got these hippies out of this fantastic snack box. We've been hooked up with so many amazing boxes containing fucking amazing snacks, candy, popcorn, Christie's potato chips, hippies, chocolate, drinks, and weed. And it's just, they're so great. You can check them out at whohasit.co.
Yes, and use code Weed and Grub, and we're doing a little affiliation thing with them because, Steph is cool as shit, and they have fucking Twix popcorn.
Oh my god!
Oh man, the Twix popcorn is
all the candy
so bomb. Yeah, they brought a bunch of boxes during the Comedy Store show, Glazer's After Party, and they hooked up everyone on my show.
Oh, the night Quentin Tarantino was at the Comedy Store?
The night Quentin Tarantino was there, and we might have said what's up to each other and a little head nod here and there.
Dope.
No big deal.
Your show was great, by the way.
Thank you, Mary Jane.
It was a really good show.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
It was a lot of fun.
And so Steph and Who Has It came by and hooked everyone up with gift boxes. So go to whohasit.co, use code Weed and Grub, and just go through their whole selection. Make a gift box for your friends. Make a gift box for yourself. Make a gift box for your friends' friends if you're looking for new friends. And Mark, what did that say?
Quentin Tarantino, did he suck any toes?
No,
yes,
come on.
Absolutely he did.
You think in the bathroom?
Definitely. No, I hope not in the bathroom. Moving on.
Yo, you know that there's some like barefoot girl,
Please.
her heels off in the bathroom.
It's not okay. That is not an okay thought for me.
He's banned from the beach. Do you know that?
What's the news?
This is from High Times, and I chose this news story for a couple of reasons. Nike challenges a trademark of a hemp company whose slogan is "Just Hemp It." So recently, Nike filed a trademark complaint against CBD company for trying to use the trademark "Just Hemp It."
Just hemp it.
Yep. So as we all know, Nike is one of the largest footwear and athletic gear companies in the world, and this is a Texas.
Excuse me, sorry.
And this is a Texas-based CBD company called Revive Farming Technologies, who filed their own trademark on Just Hemp It in 2019.
Okay.
And now cut to a couple years later, and Nike's like, you can't do that.
Right.
There's a couple of interesting parts of this. One is under the Lanham Act, Section 43C, and then a bunch of numbers and letters, Nike said you can't use any type of version of Just Do It because it falls under the famous phrase category.
Sure.
So there must have been some huge court case where it was like any version, like
famous phrase.
Yeah, like, ba 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 ba. So
that means I can't say, okay, do you recognize this? Where's the cheese?
Yes.
Would be a takeoff
you'd
on.
get in trouble with beef companies far and wide.
Right.
Absolutely. And so through that was a great example,
yeah,
by the way.
I was on the fly, man. Came up with
sick.
a hot example. Like,
damn.
Sick.
Got cheese?
See that ketamine brain turning? Like, oh my God. Brilliant.
She's flying. This isn't the first time that Nike has had problems with this.
No, I'm sure they're fucking litigious as fuck.
They do it all the time. They smash small companies all the time.
Ugh.
I'm going to put a little asterisk there because I want to tie this into sneakers in a moment because there's something really interesting I want to talk about. But there's also if we branch out from Nike, Gorilla Glue had a problem with Gorilla Glue strains, and so there was a lawsuit.
Oh, the company Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, there was a company lawsuit where it's like, guys,
the strain is called GG4 now.
Yeah,
GG number 4.
Exactly.
Yeah.
UPS and Hershey have also had disputes. Harborside. had a edibles company that was similar to Hershey's product and branding. So it didn't say Hershey's, but the font, the color, everything about it looked like a Hershey bar.
Excuse me 1 second, I have to cough.
Okay.
Sorry.
Same with Sour Patch Kids, Cinnabon.
Skittles, famously.
Skittles,
yeah.
exactly. So this goes all the way down. The things that are interesting to me is, one, you can't fucking...
Girl Scout cookies. Jesus,
Girl Scout cookies. But all of these things are targeted towards kids and candy.
Sure.
And so I understand why that would be a problem, because I don't want anyone to confuse Skittles with Skittles. I think it's like a no-brainer for me to be like, stop it. Like, kids eat candy. We cannot call something like this that I don't think a 12-year-old should smoke candy. Like, all about that. But when it comes to things like Nike and Just Hemp It, and they're like, this could cause confusion,
that's not related
and this is going to damage our thing. It's
Sure.
like, no, it's not. You're fucking Nike. Shut up. Like, shut up.
Yeah. Well, I imagine it's because, they're just not going to make any money off it. Like, they're happy to partner with, they have a strawberry cough shoe.
Right.
You know?
Oh my gosh, they do.
Yeah, they've got a bunch of like weed related, like they've got co-branded stuff. I think they're doing something with Huff and Kiva, maybe. I just heard. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's not like Nike is, totally anti-cannabis or anything.
They're just anti-little guys who can't help them as well. They're anti anything that's not big and established.
Well, and those big companies just like love protecting their stuff so that, if there is an opportunity to make money off that at some point down the road, then they will own that, right?
Yeah. That's such a double standard. I kind of understand it when you put it in those terms. Like, if I was a huge company like Nike and Apple wanted to do a fucking vape with me, some vape tech, I'd be like, yeah, of course. And it'll be called Just Vape It, and we'll use Apple tech and it'll be fine. But if a tiny company wanted to come out with a Nike vape and call it Just Vape It, I'd be like, ooh, you ain't big. You ain't big enough for me to fuck with.
Of course, it's
Go
just
away.
like anything else. You don't want to piddle around with the piddly piddlers.
Piddly piddlers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This also ties into some CBD news that I'm actually writing a story about right now for Vox. That is, the FDA came out with a statement that they're not going to regulate CBD. Like, everyone was sort of hoping, after this huge boom of CBD over the last 5 years, there have like been, everything from like dog treats to face washes to supplements and, all kinds of stuff. And so everyone has really been hoping that the FDA would finally come out with some sort of regulatory thing and say like, yes, it is, under FDA rules, we are going to allow this as a supplement or whatever. And instead, they just came out with this huge statement that was like, not only are we not going to regulate this, we're going to say that like we need Congress to like make a special set of rules because of the nature of the substance, basically, which is, because it's cannabis related.
What I just heard you say is the Biden administration that promised it a lot is moving backwards into worse things.
Well, the Biden administration, this isn't the Biden administration. This is the FDA, which is the Food and Drug Administration, which is under the Biden administration, but it's
under his watch.
It's its own thing, and they are kicking it back to Congress. I mean, they're punting it. They're kicking it down I'm just trying to look up I had the thing pulled up for the what the actual press release was. But anyway, it's just a bunch of basically what, we've just said, which is like, they're like, it's not a food supplement and we're not able to regulate it and we need new laws in place. And so the piece I'm writing is looking into like what's going to happen to the CBD market. And,
so two political leaders couldn't make an agreement with lobbyists for a certain amount of money in a briefcase. One of them said 1.2 million. The other one said 900,000. And then they just said, well, see you next year. And as soon as we can get those people paid off, we can finally move in the right direction.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Fuck that. On the sneaker thing that I wanted to tie into, there is a guy named John Geiger who is a custom sneaker maker. He just makes all his own sneakers, and his stuff really blew up. And he would take Nike silhouettes like an Air Force One or something like that, and then he would put his own spin on them, and they were just like gorgeous, but they were obviously based on this Nike silhouette. And he grew in such popularity that he's really making a lot of money. His custom things are on like football players playing in pro games, like all this stuff. And eventually Nike just sued him and cease and desist and is like, you're stealing all of our IP, trademarks, everything, and you're profiting off of it. And he won the lawsuit because he got so big and they came to an agreement. And so it's like, it's things like that that are great because Nike said, okay, if you tweak this and tweak that, you're
Right.
established enough. It's obviously inspired by
Well, wasn't Virgil Abloh famous for
King of it.
Yeah.
He put out his free blueprint of how to do
It
that.
was like his take on
Exactly.
fashion.
Exactly.
Is my understanding, right? Yeah.
Right. So there will be a time when Nike and weed do come together. You just have to have enough clout and a big enough reach for it to be worth their while. Otherwise,
It's
you
not
are a
about
bad
clout or
luck.
reach. It's about money.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
but
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point. Just like, CBD being punted around, it's all about money.
Yeah, I truly think like that's what's so frustrating about it is because like if it were some like up and coming fucking mad cool artist, I don't think they would do it.
They'd celebrate it. They'd be like, yo, let's go.
They would?
Yes.
Okay.
I truly
so maybe
believe
it is about clout.
it is, yeah, because you have to, it's reach too, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
Geiger,
Mhm.
if I were to guess his demographic of people that buy his sneakers, I bet it's like 20s, deep in the sneakerhead game,
Yeah.
want to wear some Air Force One, but have a sick twist on it that won't also be at the convention. So you got a Geiger Air Force One, which shows like not only are you in the know, but you're not standard. You're not
Mhm.
a basic bitch, right? And at a certain point, that kind of clout resonates towards making a shitload of money.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it is clout first.
Clout forward?
Clout forward. It's a clout forward business.
A clout forward collaboration with Nike. The money comes later.
You're a lot funnier on this one than me.
Well, you are crabby.
No, I'm saying it's a compliment.
I don't know. I don't think I am at all.
I keep track every episode of laughs.
Oh my God. Who? My laughs?
Each.
How can you keep track of each of our laughs? No one's laughing. It's just us. You're keeping track of imagined laughs.
Imagine laughs.
Oh my fucking
and
God.
then I go home and I add a little to my little
Mike.
score sheet that's taped under my dresser so no one can see it.
Oh wow. That's imagined laugh tally is okay. I don't do that. And I think that's good for me.
I do a ketamine treatment. And like it's all about like
Why do I tally laughs? Wait, you count claps too.
I count claps. Yeah, I do. I don't think that certain people deserve a full 10 claps from me in the audience.
Right.
I'm a heavy, I'll give you 3 to 4 for most things. A 6 is a massive compliment, but 10 claps, boy, you better blow my fucking dick off.
Wow.
Yeah, so I do count claps.
Okay.
Uh,
Claps and imagine laughs. I would like anyone to write in and let us know how many times you have laughed during this episode and how many were Mike's and how many were mine. And then we'll see if that matches up with your imagine laugh tally. Truly, if there's anyone out there willing to do this, we will send you a box of something fun.
yeah, a bunch of funds.
Yep.
Great, and I'd love to win.
You can't curry favor. Dude, man, you're all fucking crazy
Ooh,
today.
Curry Favor is a good name for a restaurant,
That would be, I
right?
would go there.
Yeah, I
Those
would
curry noodles last night were
absolutely
real
go there.
good.
Damn, yeah.
Yeah.
We had a couple more other things on this list, and we also have an unboxing to do.
I know. What do we want to get to?
I was gonna think.
Okay.
Am thinking.
Okay. Currently are
Thought
thinking.
it. I've thought.
You thought it already.
Um,
It is thunk.
It has been thunk that we could shout out our dear friends
Hmm.
while I do this unboxing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So they can listen to you and try to not listen to me unpack all this stuff.
Oh, I'm not talking while you're unboxing. Let's just unbox.
Okay, let's
'Cause
unbox.
honestly, this is truly because, and I'm doing this in a selfish way. It's because I get anxious when I am trying to do something while something else is happening. And you are a multitasker. So I could unbox that stuff while you talk if that's what you want to do. But the anxiety that I felt a little stab of trying to talk over you doing something because my brain literally shuts down.
Oh, I'm really good at singular focus to the point that it alienates people and makes them
multi-focus.
multi-focus in like what's the word I'm looking for? I'm so focused I can't think of the word.
Because I feel like I am so if I am I can't do that. I can't talk while you do that.
Okay.
I'm basically having a fucking meltdown about trying to talk while you're unboxing.
Yeah, you
so.
put your hands on
Yeah.
your side of your head like horse
Remember
blinders.
you asked me last night if someone actually puts their hands to their mouth when they're scared or shocked? Like someone did it in Poker Face. We were watching Poker Face and something bad happened and the actor went like, and then you were like,
Do people really put their hand to their face when they're shocked?
Absolutely. Yes, they do.
Really?
Yeah, I do it. I do it all the time. Like 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll see something and I'll be like, oh my God. All the time.
I believed you when you just did that.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I truly have never
Like,
believed it.
I put my hand to my face the other night when I was walking in West Hollywood with Archie and I don't know what I ate, maybe some egg salad. I was gassy. And I was walking Archie around West Hollywood, quiet, beautiful, leafy streets late at night. And I came around a corner with Archie, and there was just some guy out for his late night stroll by himself, also just enjoying the quiet evening air. And as I rounded the corner, I burped so loud in his face that we didn't even say anything. I just turned to the left like a fucking toy soldier in the Nutcracker and was just like, and just like, and then I was like, I was oh my godding it with my hands to my face all the way home. I was like, oh my god, noise. Thank you, Mark. It was disgusting, and I'm so sorry, my sweet neighbor, whoever you are. God love you.
God love you.
Ugh, it was
that's
gross.
Fun. That is gross and funny.
It was disgusting. It was awful. Anyway.
Before we unbox, let's shout out Candy is Dandy.
Oh my God. Yes. Candy is Dandy. Our new friends. Fucking so excited about this pod.
Mm-hmm.
It is obviously about candy. It's a podcast that's entirely devoted to candy, and each week they have a different candy that they rate and review.
I'm halfway through the first episode.
Yeah,
because they just started it.
Yeah,
I've already left a 5-star review.
Okay,
just so everyone knows, because it is really great. But the first one is about Snickers.
Yeah,
and it's like the history of Snickers. They cut it and they examine it. They get deep into the nougat and what nougat means.
Wow,
like, it's a real fun deep dive. I'm really enjoying it.
We've learned that some of their other eps include things like they have evidently discovered the connection that Butterfingers has to the atomic bomb. Okay, so when that up comes out, I'm so excited. Or maybe it's out now. I'm not sure. It's fucking exciting. And they have they've tasted way too many peach rings with Comedy Bang Bang's Carl Tart.
He rocks.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
So cool.
Oh, have you ever heard him do Carmen Sandiego on Comedy Bang Bang?
No.
Or no, he does the commissioner from Carmen Sandiego. He says gumshoes a lot. Speaking of Candy is Dandy, gumshoes. Yeah.
Fucking A.
So good.
They're out now everywhere you get your podcasts. It's called Candy is Dandy, the Candy Review. Make sure to check them out. We'll link to them in the show notes as well.
Absolutely. I mean, there is no other candy podcast out there.
Not that I know of.
Not that I know. Oh, and the other fun thing that they do is you buy the candy. They let you know what the homework is.
So you do I love homework for a pod. I have a couple that I listen to where it's fun to like either watch an episode of TV that they talk about, or I know Doughboys, it's like so awesome to like always follow along with where they're eating. So I'm so excited to I hope they do I'm imagining they're going to do candy from around the world. So I'm here for all of the Canadian and English chocolate.
Ooh,
Very excited. If you need guests, I would love to talk about Mint Arrow.
Mint Arrow is delicious. That's the one that has I hit the mic. That has the air pockets in it.
Yes,
it's
all
like
the
a
arrows.
pockety.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oof.
It's so good. And Mint Arrow is the tippity toppity top notch.
Awesome.
Titty bang bang.
Candy is Dandy.
Candy is Dandy. Check them out. So excited.
Do you want to give a little background to this baby?
I don't even know anything about it other than it's a box of goodies from our dear friends at Puffco.
It is our dear friends at Puffco. They sent it to both of us.
Mm-hmm. You're holding it real tight.
Was, I mean, I do a bit more dabbing than you. It's probably gonna live at my place, and they just sent that email and it said gratitude. What's your address?
Oh yeah,
come on, y'all. Thank you, Roger.
And it's our friend Betsy, who we met when she wasn't at Puffco, and now she's working at Puffco, which is so dope when cool people in the industry come together and just work. It's always so nice.
Okay,
so here we go.
Maybe I'll do this unboxing this way.
Okay, you can do it that way and then hand me things. What the fuck?
I knew it. It's the new Puffco droplet.
Yeah.
It just dropped.
Hey.
This is so sick.
Hand it over.
There's two of them too. One for both of my hands.
I get one of these. Here, I'm going to pop mine open. Let's see what this is.
I pretty exclusively use all Puffco products for dabbing and stuff. And I love the Proxy so much. Yes. I carry it everywhere with me.
I use the Cupsy because I don't really dab, but the Cupsy is a little flower coffee cup bong. And I use it all the time. It's so fucking handy. You can just keep it in your fucking car. And Puffco's it, man.
Oh, they just get it.
So
get it.
I'm opening this up. I don't know what this is.
The droplet
this is beautiful. Oh, it's a glass. Whoa.
Look at that thing.
What the fuck? Okay. Quick start. Fill water with... Oh, this is for the Proxy. I see. Oh my God, it's beautiful. You don't have your Proxy here, do you?
I don't have it with... Oh, wait.
No way. Did they send a Proxy to you? That's
I'll get the
fucking rad.
packaging away from the mic.
Oh my God.
Mary Jane?
Yes. Yes, we got proxies.
Wait, not only do we get proxies, but we got the silicone ones. And the silicone
Oh.
ones are for people like you and I who drop things all the time.
Okay, I'm not going to try and like crack into this because it's going to take too much time on the pod. But basically, yeah, the proxy is their modular vaporizer. It's like the coolest fucking thing. It looks like a Sherlock pipe. And the unit that's in it that heats up is you can remove it and then pop it into something like this. The droplet, it's basically like a customizable heating unit. And that's what Puffco is so incredible at, is creating these units that are like, there are no fucking coils in there. They don't break. They're like, or if they do break, they will send you a replacement. They're such a fucking great company for that. And this pipe is something that you have been using.
I take it to every movie with me.
It's so fucking
And
dope.
I hold it like this and I figure out Glass Onion before everyone else does. It's awesome.
Great. And now the droplet is their like beautiful attachment that's going to make smoking even fucking smoother, because it's going to be, it turns it into a water pipe, which is so fantastic. Thank you so much, Puffco and Roger and everyone at Puffco. It's just like the coolest place. I hope they do another Puffco PuffCon.
Heck yes.
Because they throw the best events. They're just the coolest people. Follow Roger. If you don't, just his personal account is a fucking good time as well. Follow Puffco and at Jolly Roger on Instagram.
5 p.m. every day, live stream.
He always does the lives, and it's just, this is amazing. Thank you so much. I'm so excited I have a little station right now at my house because of my getting clean and making everything nice. And I've unpacked all of my pieces of glass and I have them displayed right now. And I bought fresh flowers too. So this is going to go on my little bottom display.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, I am stoked. I might
Thank
not go
you.
to the Comedy Store tonight. I might go get like Dave's Hot Chicken and just get ripped. Because I have an hour left in Heat.
Oh.
I haven't seen Heat before, and I was getting yelled at by Dave Wade at the Comedy Store. Great comic, Dave Wade. He was like, "You never seen Heat?" And I was like, "I've never seen Heat." Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. I might not go and just get fucking puffed.
That sounds fantastic.
Oof.
I hope that you have all of the delicious things to put in your fucking droplet and enjoy.
Oh, I do.
Good.
That's the other thing. Roger is so generous, man. He's given me like not only an education,
Yeah.
but he's also been like, if you want to know what really great dabs taste like,
Mhm.
here's a little something. And I'll try it and I'll be like, oh, okay. I am starting to understand the difference between products.
Yeah.
And that's like important, especially when it's a concentrate that is going to like shoot me to the moon.
Yeah.
I want to put something good in my body
Awesome.
so that when I get to the moon, I can take off my mask and still like have a good time.
Yes. And that is a great place, I think, for us to also thank you so much, Puffco. Thank you for these. I'm so excited. We'll put this on our story too, and like of like it in action for sure.
Yes.
That's a great place to shout out some other friends, because we had an incredible week seeing some cool stuff happen, including Potluck, which was a Year of the Rabbit celebration at the iSpire headquarters in Venice. And we ran into our friend Nima from Cannabiotics there, and Nima shared 2 new cultivars. I don't know if we're allowed to even talk about them because it felt like a Supreme drop. He was like talking about how I really actually want to reconnect with him and talk about how they're doing what they do, because when we interviewed them a long time ago, like right when we started this podcast, we went to Cannabiotics and we talked to Nima about everything that they were doing at their facility here in LA. And they were just starting their genetics testing and seed lab. And now is when they're dropping, because Nima has been doing all of the fucking pheno hunting and back crossing and pollinating. And he's coming out with these new genetics at a time when the monoculture is taking over in corporate cannabis.
Yes.
So all of the big companies are growing gelato and Skittles and Runts and Girl Scout cookies crosses and all that kind of stuff. And you go to Cannabiotics, and they're one of the only companies that I can really think of where they have like 19 different cultivars, and most of them are proprietary, brand new, like these 2. I don't even know if we're allowed to say the names.
We can't say the names, but when I go to like dispensaries like Artistry and stuff like
Yeah.
that, they always have a Cannabiotic spot,
Mhm.
and the price point is higher than you might be like, oh my gosh, that's a high price point.
But it's kind.
It's fucking kind, and it's sold out. And it's like if you're looking for great weed,
Always.
that CBX is it.
It is a no fail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cannabiotics with an X. And we've got to go reconnect with them because there's more stuff coming up. And I was just chatting with Nima when we saw him, and he was like, 4 or 5 months, we're going to have some more exciting news. So it's just like another company like Puffco, like with really like friends from the industry who have all come together to do really cool shit. My old colleague John works over there, and he's just like, it's just great.
Yep.
It's really nice and cool. And it just feels cool to like hang out with people at these parties and like know them for several years and just see them rise
Yeah.
and make the coolest stuff, the products, the weed, all that stuff. It's so good.
What do you think about a strain name called What Is This? Because the goal is every time you smoke it, you like hook someone up with it and they're like, what is this?
Great.
That a good strain?
That is a great strain for
Hell
Mike Glazer to.
What is this?
What is this?
Hey, it's the year of the rabbit.
Yeah.
Fortune and fame, right?
Fortune and fame and prosperity. That whole event was sort of perfect. I mean, showing up the vibe from the very moment when you walk in the door and you're greeted with like, you know, the first thing that I was handed was an infused milk tea, 10 milligram infused, beautiful milk tea. And then I had this, When You're Hungry, Wendy Zhang made all of the catering.
Wait, if you're going to talk about her and we're not in Cream Corner, then I can't talk about her.
No, this is, this is Cream Corner.
We're steering directly into Cream Corner.
Okay. Cream Corner. Mark, can you just cut that and then we'll print that as the audio for every time we do a cream? Just sounded like a car accident.
A wet car accident.
Oh my God. Okay, maybe we'll cut that. Okay, Cream Corner. Here we are.
Wendy's an amazing cook.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe chef. I'll say chef.
Yeah.
Amazing chef. Yeah, the mochi. The mochi I tried. It was a strawberry mochi, and on the inside was brown brown butter, walnuts, and some mung bean. And I'm forgetting one or two things, of course, because it was the first one I've ever had, but it was freaking delicious. I'd never had mochi before, and it's so good. And she handmade all of them with her team. And the cool thing that I learned, especially for Year of the Rabbit and maybe beyond, is that walnuts represent connectivity and friendship. So everything she made, the ingredients within it were inspired by and a part of the celebration of Year of the Rabbit.
Yeah.
And so like eating a walnut mochi made by hand by a new friend did feel connective, did feel wonderful. And so the whole vibe of generosity, giving, and
so much abundance.
And abundance was really beautiful.
Yeah, truly. Like that whole vibe community that was hosted by our friend Ophelia, coming together with the AAPI community and cannabis, and our friend Christina, Fruit and Flowers, working with them, and like the whole thing. Yep. The whole thing is just about like giving and exchanging and generosity in that flow. And it truly, like, I left with my pockets stuffed with gifts. Mm-hmm. I felt like I floated out into the night with you. I felt like it was like, yeah, it was just like, for me, I didn't know what to expect as far as like, I was like, oh, we'll just go and like, have a potluck and like eat some food. And I came out and I was like, oh, that was like magic.
Yeah, it was magic.
And I got handed a bunch of microdoses and mushroom chocolates as well, which was lovely. So excited about that. The whole thing was beautiful.
It was beautiful. Two more things to add because of the event. Is it Chinois Femme? Is that Angela's handle?
That's right.
Chinois Femme.
Uh-huh.
So one, shout out to Angela. I like you, there's such great people there. Mm-hmm. I saw on Angela's IG at Chinois Femme. We missed it because I was trying on different sneakers to wear to the occasion, but they had the dragon where it's two people, and we had just missed it. I saw it when I was in San Francisco last. We have Sketchfest coming up February 5th, Sunday, San Francisco. But those dragons, and they come at you and they flutter their eyes and go around, and they had that in the building.
Yeah.
And that stuff is so freaking cool, especially up close. It was really rad.
Yeah.
And then the second thing I want to say is, have you had a mooncake before?
Yeah, I had one at the party.
You had one at the party?
Yes, it was.
Wait, did you have an sparkly one?
No, I just had a regular one.
Okay, because I got handed two supernova sparkles.
Are these the ones that looked like a peach and they had red bean paste in the middle?
No, I don't know what those are called.
Yeah, I didn't know so that's what I had, was one of those, and it was delicious. It was like I think they're made to look like a peach because a peach symbolizes the two halves, again, like the walnut.
Yeah.
And freaking delicious.
With red bean paste in it.
Yes.
Fucking sexy.
It was super sexy.
I put one in my hoodie pocket and I ate it the next morning for breakfast.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was really good. No, these are mooncakes that
No, I didn't have a fucking mooncake. Where were the mooncakes when I was there?
Well, they're in my fridge. I got two of them.
Okay.
And I was told to start slow. I'll leave it at that. I don't know how much you want to say it about things like this,
Sure.
I don't want to go too behind the scenes.
Gotcha.
But thank you.
I'm glad I know they're in your fridge.
And they're in my fridge, and I'm looking forward to a supernova night.
Great.
With a mooncake.
Supernova night with a mooncake. That sounds like a great album by an up and coming rapper.
It does, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. A little, come on, little baby. Get
Yeah,
at
like
me.
who's in line next? Who's coming up after Kid Cudi?
Gosh, good question.
Who's next, Mike?
The double XL freshman class this year wasn't as good as I was hoping it would be.
Oh, okay.
There was a couple bangers, but those bangers are already out here. So I really am looking for new hip hop. If you got it, I'm listening truly.
If I have it,
yeah, Mary Jane, who's your favorite hip hop artist right now?
oh, I just like the women. Truly, like I don't know
Yeah.
anything about hip hop, and I sometimes am not even sure if something qualifies as hip hop. But
Like-
I like all of the young women making music out there. Like I love Megan Thee Stallion, I love Cardi B, I love fucking, I if someone puts on Nicki Minaj, I'm not mad about it. I like Azalea Banks, even though she's said some really fucked up shit. I think her music is really cool.
Yeah.
You know, I just generally like the women.
There's a Cardi B song with a new person. She might get double XL next year called Glorilla.
Oh, okay.
And you might like that song a lot because Cardi in it is like, you ain't my friend if I had to look you up.
Yeah.
Like
Oh.
great quotes, just banging.
Always.
Eat my ass like a mango, you know? Just real fucking Cardi B
Fantastic.
shit.
I used to like Cupcake. I wonder what she's up to right now. I think she's out of Chicago. Do you know her? Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a couple of her songs.
Um.
Glorilla, check her out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
What else we got?
I was just gonna say, on the potluck tip, if people want to follow Wendy, her Instagram is When You're Hungry, but without the H. So like her name Wen, WEN, You're Hungry, and yeah, her food is amazing and her vibe is impeccable, and everything is
Yo, you know the
copacetic.
other thing?
Not pigeonholed.
Sorry to step on that.
Well, no, I'm just rambling over
hilarious.
here.
The other thing that they hooked me up with, Ophelia, Wendy, Angela, Christina. I went home with a potly infused sriracha.
Oh, that's not what I was expecting you to say. It was you just named a bunch of women and then said I went home with, and I was like, what's it?
All of them. We all went home together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's a sexy pile of people. Potly infused.
And I was in the corner the whole time. I didn't. Maybe I invited myself. I don't know. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. No, Potly has an infused sriracha now, and I'm super
yes.
stoked because you know how one of my New Year's resolutions is to always. I might buy a rice cooker for this, to always have fried rice on deck that I can make. Like always have old rice in the fridge.
Yes.
And some like infused sriracha with a little bit of fried rice. Real quick, nice dinner.
Their products across the board. They're at Get Potly. I just know that because I looked them up because we saw that sriracha, and they make all of my favorite like infused olive oils. They make a shrimp chip, and they're it's all like family recipes, and they're woman owned and operated. And it's like, yeah, that's, man, it's just so nice when companies like that manage to keep going.
Yes.
Oh,
Truly.
like it's so hard for everyone. So, you know, congratulations to anyone who's still surviving. And
Yeah.
Get Potly's one of them who's just seems to be doing really well. And I love their stuff.
I do too.
Yeah.
I like this episode because we're putting good things out into the world for people we believe in. Like we always say, like this podcast is about, you know, shouting out and celebrating people and things we believe in. And I feel like this whole episode has been like, yo, this is who we fuck with.
Yeah.
And that feels nice at the start of the year to have one of these eps where it's like a quick, like top of the year roundup of people and places and things that maybe you might want to check out.
I like that.
Oh,
it was Mike's time to do your ketamine,
it's
Mike.
time to do my ketamine. We got to get out of here. I got ketamine to do.
Shout out to Sticking on Toes. What? Oh, Sucking on Toes. Producer Mark weighing in with a fucking deep cut there from a Tarantino joke that almost made me throw up. So shout out to Sucking on Toes, not bathroom toes ever, please God.
Well, next time let's talk about like have you ever's, like tame have you ever's, like
Okay.
sucked on a toe, like, you know what I mean, nothing like
Okay.
crazy, but I think that'd be funny to do like a have you ever.
Have you ever? I would love to play a Have You Ever game with you.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Okay, well look, I got to get to my ketamine, otherwise you know.
Yeah, I mean, we have stuff that we kind of didn't get to on our list, but I'm actually okay with it because
Like
it's
what?
all like
We have time if you want to do it.
No, it's actually okay. I think I was just going to shout out to microdosing and going to museums because we did at that iSpire event encounter some wonderful people with some delicious treats, and I enjoyed them when I went to the Getty on Saturday, and I was struck by how part of for me being in a museum, especially when you are microdosed a little bit and you're sort of like more aware of everything, everything's slightly enhanced, is that it is as much about the space in the museum as it is about looking at a piece of art on the wall.
That's nice.
And I was just so struck by that, like going to the Rijksmuseum with you in Amsterdam. I mean, part of the joy of that was just being in this beautiful, huge building in a gorgeous city.
Had there been nothing on the walls, I still would have walked that place.
Yeah.
And just been like, look at the corner.
Oh my God.
Look at how like the perspective changes and they want me to look over there just based on layout.
This architecture is, but yeah.
Yeah.
I was with a friend, dear friend, who we've been having a lot of fun microdosing on Saturdays and hiking. And I was just struck by the fact that we just kept going outside from the Getty because we were ostensibly there to like look at some impressionist paintings, and we were like, let's go to the garden, and then we just wandered around and looked at like the walls and the flowers for a while. It was great.
That's great. Nature's paintings.
Exactly. While you were watching wrestling.
I was watching wrestling. Yeah. It was a great Royal Rumble. And then I get a picture of a garden from you, and I'm like, ugh, you're missing it.
No, I was like, he's missing it. Inside, smoking weed and watching wrestling, and you're like, what is she, outside looking at a bush? We're very different.
That is like a top thing for me. I'd like to do sometime is to like go to the museum.
Yeah.
Microdose at the museum.
That'd
be a good.
Microdosing at the museum?
Yeah.
There are so many in LA too. I mean, I would microdose and go to any sort of art exhibition, gallery, zoo, botanical garden, museum. You know, we would occupy a whole year of it. You want to go with me?
Oh, I think no, because I don't want to infringe on like that great friendship that you have with this person where you both do things like this. I don't want to insert myself in that.
All right. Well, I'm just inviting you to do something.
I'll probably like show up there and be like, oh, hey guys.
Oh, hi. Hello. Hey.
Huh. Well, I guess I'll tag along.
Hi. Great.
I'm wearing like, is Mike following us? And I like duck under my steering wheel. Like you don't know my car.
You're invited.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I probably will say no, but thank you.
Dude, you got to say yes. Say yes to everything.
Ugh.
Say yes.
I'm a millennial.
You've got to come microdose with me at a museum.
Yeah.
Say yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was something you made me just think of, and now I can't remember it.
Oh, I
it
don't
was
know.
about microdosing and friendship.
Just how great it is all the time.
I don't know about that.
Oh my God. Let's just do Buds of the Week and get out of here.
Okay. Oh, I remember it.
Okay.
I also would have left if I was in the impressionist section. I think is that the one with fat babies and women and women's breasts?
I'm sure that there are fat babies in women's breasts in the impressionistic, but no, the impressionists were the ones who started just like really abstracting their paint strokes. So instead of it being like an artistic rendering of a sky that looks like what you're looking at, it would be just like sort of like an idea of what the light and everything looks like.
Oh.
So do you know what I mean? Like
it's like a trip. It's like this is my version of the sky. This is an impression of the sky.
An impression of the sky,
right.
exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
I do enjoy that stuff. I hate fat baby Jesus stuff.
Yeah, fat baby Jesus stuff is older than that.
Okay.
Much older than that. There was a lot of fat baby Jesus stuff in the Rijksmuseum.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like Dutch masters. That's much, much older. The Impressionists were like the second half of the 19th century, early 20th century. I think you're talking about stuff that's like 16th, 17th century, maybe.
Yes.
We need to get an art historian on it. Katrina Davis. We can ask Katrina. She has our podcast, Podvant Garde, with our friend Andrea.
Oh, yeah. We'll ask her on Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah. Because I really like Rothko. I really like... I think from 1900s.
Like modern art.
Yeah, I like modern art a lot. I like furniture a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Photography does nothing for me. I think, well, that's not true. If I'm in the photo, it does a ton for me. But
if it's a selfie,
but if it's all good. I love it.
I think you would have enjoyed this particular exhibit at the Getty. There was an artist named Uta Barth who we didn't know anything about, and we were just totally blown away because it was like huge photographs, but much of the photograph was empty space, and the photo would just be occupied by like a tiny bar of windows at the top and gravel at the bottom, and the rest of it is a wall with, you know, sort of textures and patterns, or like the very, very top of the back of a couch and a wall in sunlight, and you're really not seeing much, but it's so conveying a mood and a moment in a fucking amazing way. I think you would really like that.
That sounds beautiful.
But she's obviously a modern artist, so
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The way you described that was like wonderful, Mary Jane.
Thanks, Mike.
Wow.
Dude.
All right, let's get to Buds of the Week.
All right.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first because it's Ophelia. It's our friend Ophelia Chong, who truly is, a person that anyone who meets her knows exactly how fucking fantastic and special and amazing she is. She does so many millions of things. I can't even remember all of them, but she is the founder of Potluck, and she stockpot images and Asian education cannabis, and she's at Ophelia Swims, and she does all sorts of cool stuff with plant medicine and healing and art and design, and also just like and she designed the clit entrance. Mike, that's such a good clit that you did. If you're watching our YouTube, shout out to Mike, who just did like sign language, and I immediately got it for what a clit looks like.
Thanks.
Good job. So Michelle Luke through an event called Mushwoom, which was a rave, an all-day rave. And I wish I'd known about it in advance because I would have loved to check it out. So I hope it happens again. But Ophelia and another artist were asked to design the entrance, and it was like a huge vagina with a big glittering clit at the top that you walked through to get in with LED lights. And she told us at the event that the pubic hairs were pipe cleaners.
Yeah.
She was like, gluing pipe cleaners on with so much work to do the pubic hair. But, you know, she just gets up to cool shit all the time. So at Ophelia Swims is one of her handles on Instagram. She's a woman of mystery, always doing a million things.
Great butt of the week.
And also check out our episode with her. She's an OG Weed and Grub guest.
She is an OG Weed and Grub
OG,
guest.
like episode 20 something.
Oh my
probably.
gosh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
My butt of the week this week is our friend who we met in Alaska 5 years ago at this point. And the night of my Comedy Store show, 10:30, next one is March 8th, Wednesday. She was on the show before. I was like, whoa, Mary? She was like, what up, Glazer? And we hung out. So please follow at Mary Santora Comedy. Her name is Mary Santora. She's a phenomenal comedian. She's based in Cleveland now, and she's the co-host of the Alan Cox Show, which is a drive show.
A radio show?
A radio show.
What? Yeah.
But it's like during traffic. So it's like a
Yo.
big responsibility to
Huge.
be funny and entertaining while people are in their cars commuting. So props to you, Mary, for being trusted with that.
Yeah.
And it's because you're so funny. And she kind of comes here and she goes to LA quite a bit and then back to Cleveland. If you happen to live in the Midwest and she comes to your city, you gotta see her. She's so great. And then if not, you can check out a lot of her reels on her Instagram at Mary Santora Comedy.
And when we met Mary at the Before You Die festival, like she was at the beginning of a big personal evolution that I think, you know, has been so fucking amazing to watch her climb and rise and like just treat herself incredibly well and get better all the time. And like her career has tracked with all of it. And it's just neat to know her on a personal level to like chart that, just like, oh, here's what you do if you work really hard at, you know, just treating yourself in a way that is going to work for you.
True. Yeah.
You know?
With a little discipline and
She's
a lot
inspiring.
of gumption.
Yeah. Discipline and
100%.
gumption.
Dang.
Those are good words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's get out here so I can eat a bunch of snacks and get ripped on some puffs.
Dude, the droplet. Yeah, thank you to all of our friends who are so generous. I mean, honestly, we're surrounded by a bounty of goods all the time. Super grateful to everyone from Who Has It to Puffco to all of these friends. If you look at our YouTube, you can see snacks and things on our table here, and you know, to Petty Cash Studios for hosting us. So
Yeah.
we just know good peeps.
Would
Thank
you say that we're all allies?
What as opposed to?
Nemesis?
Nemesis? Nemesis?
Yeah.
I don't want to pigeonhole us.
Well, this has been a copious episode, Mary Jane.
It's a bit copacetic
Copacetic episode.
Copious and copacetic. Email us at wg@weedandgrub.com. Find us on Instagram at weedandgrub. And please, if you have a moment, give us a star, give us a review on iTunes. We're climbing in the ratings. It's been really nice. Help us get into more buds' ears. If you like what we do, come see us at Sketchfest. And anything else?
Yeah, I want to beat Bert Kreischer on the podcast list.
Oh, God.
So I want us, if you're out there, tell 2 buds each so that when the iTunes lists come out, we're above Bert Kreischer. That's my goal this year.
Holy smokes.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.